You are not who you think you are, not even close. The identity you cling to in your mind is a comforting lie, and deep down, you know it. You tell yourself you're a good person, that your intentions matter more than your actions. But the truth is, the only thing that matters is what you do, day after day. You are not defined by your dreams or your promises. You are defined by your habits, by the choices you make when you think no one is watching. You are not who you wish you were. You are who you practice being. How often do your actions betray your ideals? How many times have you said you'd change, only to repeat the same mistakes? You think one thing and do another, living in a quiet war with yourself. You wear a mask of who you believe you are, while your real face is revealed by what you actually do. There's a part of you that you proudly accept, and another part that you reject and hide. You've split yourself in two. One side is the good image you show the world, the person you like to believe you are. The other side is made up of the impulses, fears, and truths you don't want to face. You pretend that second side doesn't exist, but it does. And it shows itself in every act of procrastination, every broken promise, every moment of weakness. Let me be clear. You will never be whole as long as you cling to one version of yourself and reject the other. Carl Jung understood this split better than anyone. He called the face you show the world your persona, a mask crafted to meet society's expectations. And the part you bury? That's your shadow. Everything you've disowned because it didn't fit the role you were trained to play. That someone is what Jung would call your shadow. All the parts of you that you hide, deny, and cast into the dark. The anger you swallow, the desires you disown, the fears you push aside. They collect in the shadows of your psyche. You pretend they're not there, but they are. They growl from the basement of your mind, rattling the pipes, demanding acknowledgement. You ignore them at your own peril, and those unclaimed parts of you will not remain silent forever. So again, who are you? Are you the mask, the polite fiction you show the world? Or are you the shadow, the chaos you shove away? The uncomfortable truth is you are both, and neither. The mask is a lie, and the shadow is a truth you haven't owned. You've been living caught between them, lost in a labyrinth of false selves and buried truths. You will never be whole as long as you cling to one and reject the other. Take a breath. This is where things get real. You've spent your life cultivating an idea of yourself, a mental picture of who you are. But here's the hard punch. You are not who you think you are. The story in your head, the persona you defend, is a well-crafted narrative, a convenient fiction. Meanwhile, the real you has been stranded somewhere between the lies you tell others and the lies you tell yourself. It hurts to hear this. You might feel attacked, exposed. Good. That pain is the feeling of your shell cracking. Because until it cracks, nothing true can grow. We're not here to trade pleasant affirmations. We're here to scrape the rust off your soul and show you why you feel so damn empty. It's because you've been pouring your life into a mold that doesn't fit. Wearing a mask that smiles while your true self screams beneath it. Let that sink in. You've been living as a stranger to yourself, and it's left you with a hollow ache, hasn't it? That quiet desperation when the lights are off and no one else is around. The subtle dread that your life is flashing by, and you haven't even met the person living it. This is the cost of the lie, the cost of not being who you truly are. Søren Kierkegaard warned that the most common form of despair is not being who you are, not becoming yourself. Imagine that. The worst sorrow isn't some external misfortune. It's the slow soul rot of living your days as someone you're not. Every morning you wake up and put on a face that isn't yours. You drift further from your essence. Quietly, painlessly, you lose yourself. Until one day, you look in the mirror and there's nothing left behind your eyes. It's a fate akin to a quiet death of the soul. We're here to stop that from happening, to drag you back from that silent oblivion. But understand, it's going to hurt first. The truth is a scalpel, and we're about to do some surgery. So look again at the patterns of your life, the choices, the habits, the things you do over and over, even when your heart isn't in them. Why do you keep doing them? Because who you think you are is running on autopilot, a program given to you by the past. Here's where modern neuroscience comes in to slap you awake. Your brain is a habit machine. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Every repetitive action, every routine, is literally reshaping your neural pathways. Your brain doesn't care what story you believe about yourself. It cares what you practice. It doesn't distinguish between good and bad habits. Only that which you repeat becomes ingrained. You can tell yourself, "I'm free, I can change all day." But if your days are spent in the same loops of behavior, your brain only knows those loops. It fortifies them. It makes them you. Think about that. You tell yourself you are a kind person, but every day you practice irritation, gossip, silent resentment, small repeated doses of unkindness. You tell yourself you are ambitious, destined for greatness, but every day you practice procrastination and make excuses. You identify as broken or shy or unlucky, and then you prove it to yourself with countless little habits. Every action is a vote for the person you will become. That's not poetry, that's psychology. James Clear said it plain. Your habits are the building blocks of your identity. Feel that chill running up your spine. That's the realization that the prison you are in is one you built brick by brick, day by day. The way you spend your hours is who you become. You can't escape it. As Nietzsche challenged, if you gaze long into your habits gaze into you. He asked us to imagine living the same life again and again. Eternal recurrence. If today were to repeat forever, would you be okay with who you are right now? If not, something needs to change now. No more waiting. This is the breaking point. The part where you might want to turn away, to deny it all and run back to the comfort of your illusions. But don't you dare. Stay here. Face it. Because right behind this pain is the key you've been searching for. You have seen the chains that bind you. Now look at your hands. They're not empty. They've been holding the key all along. Yes, that key is choice. The choice you have in this very moment and in every moment after to change what you practice. You are who you practice being. Read that again. Let it burn itself into your mind. This truth is both a razor and a balm. It cuts through the nonsense, and it promises transformation. It means that if you're not who you want to be, you can begin to practice differently, starting now. This is the pivot, the moment the darkness begins to give way to light. All those habits and patterns that have defined you can be redefined. Neuroscience calls it neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. In plain terms, you can forge new pathways. Think of it like blazing a new trail through a dense forest. Each step makes it easier to walk again. You can walk a new path through the labyrinth of your mind, and with each step, the old trail grows fainter. You are both the sculpture and the sculptor. This is what Carl Jung meant by individuation, becoming who you truly are by consciously integrating all that you are. Taking off the mask, dragging the shadow into the light, and forging a self that is whole and honest. It's the hardest work you'll ever do. It's a spiritual crucible, a psychological rebirth, and it begins the moment you decide to stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. Consider the parts of you that you've rejected or neglected. The anger you thought was only destructive. It can become the fire that fuels change when harnessed. The fear that kept you cautious, it can become wisdom and alertness. Even your pain and trauma, the wounds you thought made you broken, within them lie the seeds of strength and empathy once you face them. The shadow you've been running from, holds a piece of your power. Tame it, and it becomes an ally instead of an enemy. Look at that mask on the table again. You don't need it anymore. Let it collect dust. The face you show the world from now on will be your own, real and unguarded. Does that thought scare you? Good. It means your false self is terrified, but your real self is breathing for the first time. Authenticity is its air and light. It's what your soul has been gasping for. Feel the change stirring inside. That's the beginning of a new habit, a new identity forming. It starts as a tremor, a whisper. I can be different. Not by wishing, but by doing. This is where you take all this insight and make it real. Small steps, taken daily, will remake you. Decide now what the first step will be. Is it finally speaking the truth you've been biting back? Is it setting a boundary, breaking a toxic routine, waking up early to work on that dream you shelved? Whatever it is, commit to it, not tomorrow, now. Every morning when you wake up, you will have a choice. To put on that old mask or to face the day as the person you want to be. Every time you act, that choice is reaffirmed. Remember James Clear's wisdom. Each action is a vote. Cast your votes for the identity you desire, not for the one you're leaving behind. And if you falter one day, and you will, don't you dare spiral back into, "This is just who I am." No, that slip is just a reminder of what you're leaving behind. Refocus and move forward. Picture that labyrinth of your life again. This time, you are not wandering aimlessly. You have a map, drawn by your decisions. Each honest choice, each deliberate habit, is an arrow pointing you forward, deeper toward the center, where your true self waits. Yes, there will be twists and dead ends. Yes, you'll confront old monsters in those holes, fear, doubt, the whispering voices of past failures. But now you know their tricks. They only have power if you stop moving. So keep moving. And as you journey, something remarkable happens. Day by day, the mirror in that dark room shows a clearer reflection. Not a stranger, not a fragmented collage of faces, but one person, unified, authentic, alive. You start to recognize yourself, perhaps for the first time. Others will notice too. The people who only loved your mask may fall away, and that's fine. The ones who stay, and the new ones who come, are drawn to the real you. The air around you changes when you walk in truth. It crackles with quiet confidence. In that clear reflection, you meet someone you haven't seen in ages, your true self, waiting patiently for you. By now you understand. The greatest project of your life is you. Not the you that others expect, not the you that coasts on old inertia, but the you that you choose to build. Nietzsche said, "Become who you are." It was not a platitude, it was a challenge. And you meet it not in one grand gesture, but in the small, unglamorous decisions of each day. In the courage to be honest when it's easier to lie. In the discipline to do what's right instead of what's convenient. In the conviction to say no when everything and everyone tries to bend you into a shape you refuse to take anymore. Only you have the right to decide who you will become. So ask yourself now, with the same intensity as that voice that started us off, who are you going to practice being? Not think about being, not wish to be. Practice being. Starting the moment this video ends, when you step back into your life, what will you do differently? This question is a torch, lighting your way out of the cave. Carry it with you. Use it to ignite action. This is your call to action, and it's not a gentle invitation. It's a gauntlet thrown at your feet. If this stirred something in you, don't let it flicker out. Fan it into an inferno. Prove it with action. Right now, do one thing that your future self will thank you for. And later, if you feel bold, share it. Write down the new habit you're committing to. Say it out loud to someone. Mark it in a journal or in the comments below. Make it real. Remember, nothing changes until you do. In the end, the message is simple. Even if the journey is hard, you are not who you think you are. You are who you practice being. Every day is an opportunity to practice something, anything, that moves you closer to who you truly want to be. So take that opportunity. Don't let another day slip by in that old disguise. Step out of the shadows, drop the mask, and stride, unafraid, into the person you were meant to become. Now the dark room fades, the photographs and mask dissolve, and you stand facing that mirror. This time, you don't flinch. You look yourself in the eyes and feel a quiet certainty. You know the answer to that question now. Who are you? You are whoever you choose to be, every single day, beginning today. Now go prove it. The mirror is waiting for you.